Misfit Nation.
Oh my
Are
God.
you saying Wunda's kids are retarded?
No.
What's going on here?
Fuck. Is that what you just said? No, I'm saying he's got the potential to pop one out.
I'm gonna instigate.
As
You
we all
heard,
do.
Heard what he said
A
about
kid?
your kids, Wunda? Jesus. All right. Well, speaking of bad fathers, let's get to Jacob Blake.
Oh, fuck. Wow. Okay, yeah. The dislikes just went up on this one. Holy
This is
shit.
where the segment gets turned off and a bunch of comments gets
Right away, right?
He said what?
Well, what is how do we go about this? Because there's
I say we play the video and go from there.
okay, there's the video, and then what just got released was the 911 call. So we'll go over that.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the shooting itself.
I think I'm gonna start this one, if you don't mind. I just want black people. I love black people. I love all people, but I love my people, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I just want us to respect authority a little more than we do. Actually, a lot more than we do, because we don't respect authority at all. I don't know the situation, and we're gonna get into what happened in 911 call. I don't know, but based off of face value, and I said this to you off air. Once the cop pulls a gun, because people say cops are supposed to de-escalate, but I think once a cop pulls a gun, it's on the person that they pulled it on to either comply at that point or escalate the situation. I see a lot of my friends posting, if you've been held at gunpoint by a cop, share this and stuff like that. But I think they're missing the point that the reason that they can share this is because once the cop pulled the gun, they complied with what the cop wanted them to do.
Right.
Now, had they not complied, they might not be here to post that thing on the internet. So I just think for our safety, if we really want to think that the cops are out to get us, then once we are engaged with a cop, we should be doing whatever that cop wants so that we can get home safe to our family. So if a cop pulls a gun on me, I'm not going to walk.
Everybody should be doing that. Yeah.
I'm not going to walk to my car because I already know if I'm thinking in the back of my head, this cop wants to end me because I'm black, then I'm not going to give him any reason. He's going to have to flat out murder me to where there's no like reason to kill me at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to walk to my car when he has his gun on me because he doesn't know what I'm going to my car for. You know what I'm saying? It's just I don't know. Where's the responsibility at for?
There's none.
For our people. That's all I'm saying. Just kind of you got to take responsibility.
Well, this is. Oh, you want to go?
Yeah, I was going to say I think the reason why the responsibility factor doesn't come into play for our people is due to the fact that they never know the scenario in hand of what happens. They weren't there when it happened. So you don't know what is the reason for it to escalate to what it escalated to. The problem is they think, oh, just because we're black, they're fucking with us, point blank, period. So that is what they need to get out of their head, that it's not that. It has to be something else in order for you to have to comply to these cops. You know what I'm saying? So some of them feels like they don't need to comply because they did nothing wrong.
Well, so let me ask you a question though, because what how can I ask this? What's the narrative that's being told about this? And I'll tell you why I'm asking this question. Because
the narrative that's
hold on, real quick. I'll tell you why I'm asking it, and then you tell me.
Sure.
Because on the surface of even the 30-second clip that we usually aren't like we can't usually judge it by, this is justifiable, open and shut.
This is almost like standard procedure.
This is the example of like what we don't protest over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Like this isn't the one.
It's not even near the one, near being close to the one that's near the one.
Right.
Like, it's not, this is the opposite of the one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So what I'm saying is, what's the narrative that they're telling about this? That what did the police do wrong?
The narrative is, why didn't he shoot him in the leg? Or why didn't he, why the police could have tackled him? He was the one that was breaking up the fight. Why was he being arrested?
And that's not true, by the way. That's a lie.
I don't know what's true, but you asked for the narratives, so I'm just telling you.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I wasn't checking
okay.
you. Yeah,
you're just being the beta.
I was being the fastest growing conservative podcast in the nation. Go ahead.
Yeah, you let them haters tell you we're Democrats, but you know. But what was I saying? Yeah, we don't know what happened in this situation, but I can tell you one thing. 99.9% of people that walk back to their car once a cop has a gun on you, you might get shot. Like, this is a pretty good chance you're gonna get shot.
Especially if you're walking to a car and either reaching in or you're going in to get in and put it in drive, you're now a danger to the police that are trying to arrest you. Now, the story is starting to sort of formulate based on all the information that's coming in, and there's a lot of lies in this, supposed narrative, meaning like this thing that he was going there to break up a fight is complete horseshit that was just made up.
Right.
The cops were called on him for going to that house because he's not allowed to be over there.
Okay.
Because he has a history of domestic abuse. You know what I mean? Now, this is why Wonder, I know you usually don't like to focus on a criminal history of a person, but I'll tell you why in this case it's very important, and it's almost the key to it is because he's at a place, he got the cops called on him. He has a history of domestic abuse, domestic violence, violent crimes.
So the cops are familiar with him.
They know him.
Now, don't get it twisted. If he's in the area where he's not supposed to be, he's not supposed to be.
He's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, so that's
so that takes away the narrative that the police were just fucking with him.
Right. Just to fuck with him.
They were called there specifically for him. There's a 911 call that got released that says his name specifically.
707.
707, 2805 40th Street, 28054 Street. Complainant says Jacob Blake isn't supposed to be there, and he took the complainant's keys and is refusing to give them back.
60. 707.
Headquarters 618 707, just for 43. We have a alert at this address for 99 for that subject.
Now, here's also another thing. He had 3 kids in the car, right? He also has a record that includes sexual abuse.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what the details of that case are, but not to mention he had a warrant out for his arrest. So the idea of what were the police supposed to do and what did black people want them to do in the sense of like, all right, if Black Lives Matter, what about the 3 kids that were in the car that he was potentially about to kidnap?
I also heard
he
said, man, fuck y'all pussy ass niggas, I'm gonna get my gun. Or I'm gonna get my knife.
And he had a knife in the car.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he had a knife in the car in where he was going.
I heard that he had a knife, but I didn't know he said that.
Yeah.
So that's a verbal threat.
Yeah, walking towards the car, but I didn't hear it. We didn't hear it in the video, so that's hearsay.
That's
hearsay. Yeah.
So were the police supposed to just let him go? And
well, here's the thing, and that's
sorry. Also, I forgot to mention this. They already tased him,
and the taser didn't work. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Once it's like, if you cops will tell you like the number one thing that cops are afraid to go to is a domestic dispute.
Yeah.
Because that's the number one way that cops die. Because they go to domestic disputes, the husband or the wife is distraught. Somebody either gets stabbed or shot, and it's a situation you never want.
Not to mention most of the times you have kids in the area, so
if you go to one of these situations, you're already on 10.
Yeah.
And you have a guy that you know that's not supposed to be there. Apparently we don't know what he's doing at the time. And then he goes back to his car when the cops already tell him to stop and put your hand. Yeah, it's not the one, bro. It's not the one.
This is
Another
the
one.
example of what not to do.
Yeah.
What
and it's
completely
just-
not to, not only not what to do with police,
Mm-hmm.
but not what to do with your fucking life. This guy is an example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't raise him up to be a goddamn hero. Again.
Just the other day, I was listening to my son play Fortnite with his friends. He's 9 years old.
Mm.
They understand at 9, just like we understood at 9, that, you know, hey, if you draw a gun near a cop or you have any weapon or threaten a cop or anything, not listen to a cop, you're going to get shot.
Fucking video games teach you that.
We knew that as kids.
Yes.
So what happened? Where did it flip now to where we don't have to do that?
There's no self-responsibility any of the crimes that he did. Anybody that's trying to make the argument that this guy was on the path of changing his life, suck a dick, because he has a history of doing all that shit, and he was literally in progress of committing the same exact goddamn crime, a domestic violence crime, meaning he's if Black Lives Matter, he's hurting a black woman. He's hurting black children. He's destroying how they're growing up and how they're gonna treat their families.
That's a fair point.
Yes, he's a goddamn nuisance.
Well, here's one of my theories. I hope this is actually something that happens. Now, we haven't heard a statement from him at all, but he's alive. This is somebody who actually made it through this, right?
Yeah.
So I think instead of him, when he comes home or whenever he gets that first statement, instead of him saying, yeah, these cops gotta stop fucking with us, man, or else I wouldn't be in it. If he sits there and say, you know, I really shouldn't have been there.
I fucked up.
Yeah.
And you know that's not happening.
Right.
And
no,
it's not.
But
it's not
but
happening.
if something like that ever could happen, that would change everybody's perspective.
I don't think so.
I still think the cracker got to him. They paid him off.
Oh, that's
shit.
crazy,
Or
bro. I gotta think that most humans are a little sensible.
No. It's
Am
a
I
wrap.
jaded?
It's a wrap for
Shit.
sensibility. It's over.
Wow.
They're rioting over this, that on the surface of a 30-second clip, you can see he's goddamn, like, he's asking for it.
Now,
Who the fuck does he think he is that he can walk away from police while he's being detained for a crime he's committing at the moment?
now
in an area where he's not supposed to be in.
At a house he's not supposed to be at. Terrorizing his own family.
people will argue excessive force. So now we're getting to the point of, okay, well, the cop should have shot him one time or not the 7 times. The one bullet could have killed him just like the 7, but he's not dead. So at this point, it's like we gotta calm down when we look at situations like this. Because then I sent it to y'all and I was like, oh, we got another one, because I already knew that as soon as this hit the airwaves, people were gonna be upset over it,
Right?
For the wrong reasons.
Because there's a video. That's why. It doesn't matter.
And then you got the camera guy in the background. Oh man, why'd you shoot him, man? You
After-
saw why you
After
shot
you
him.
literally watched what happened.
If homeboy had a little bit of etiquette, wouldn't be paralyzed right now.
As bad as I tussled with police in my time, I never did anything that can cost me my life. Obviously, because I'm here to say that. There's a line. It's not even thin. There's a huge line.
Yeah.
That you just don't cross with a police officer, period. And for anybody to want to glorify or put somebody on a mantle because of unjust behavior of a cop are lunatics, bro. They're lunatics and hypocrites.
Yeah. 100%.
Because
And then-
better myself.
Blaze, you always make this point. One day, one of these things are going to come out and it's going to be a legit case. And people are just going to be like, I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. Because
Yeah.
we cried wolf too many times.
Yes.
Too
And
many
this,
times.
Jacob Blake is crying wolf.
This might be the one, actually.
There was another one.
After this, people not gonna give a fuck, bro.
You got to understand this Black Lives Matter, this rioting, all this that's happening since George Floyd, since Trayvon. It is a lose-lose situation. They're never going to negotiate. There's no negotiation. So even if he came out and said something positive instead of negative about it, they're going to find the negative about it. If anything is positive, they're going to find the negative.
The narrative is already set. Like
Right.
no matter what, expect like with George Floyd, with Breonna Taylor, with all these people, the narrative is already set. So no matter what facts come out about the case after that,
You don't understand.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't even have to have a narrative behind it anymore.
no, it does. That's what it's all hinging
the
on.
only narrative, it's very simple, it's either cop killing black person or white person killing black person. It's simple. It's nothing else.
The narrative is it's being done based on racism. That's the narrative. That meaning now we don't have to look at any of the facts. We don't have to look at what he did. We don't have to even hold him responsible because these guys were already racist and they were going to kill him already.
Okay.
It was first degree murder.
Now, I want us to be careful
Or
here
not
because
murder, but
I do
yeah.
think there is. I may feel like this about this case, but there are some cases like Trayvon's case. I'm always gonna feel like there's nuance to his shit. That was a death that wasn't on him.
Point being,
in my opinion, right?
The narrative of it being about race.
Okay, I got you.
Is horseshit. Complete horseshit, and that's what Wunder's saying. Is it all built up to this point where black people still believe? A lot of black people still believe Mike Brown had his hands up when he got shot.
Right.
What's the other ones?
Everything
but Philando.
As long as Eric Gardner died just selling cigarettes.
Yes, all that horseshit
is lost. No, just because of that statement, period.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it's still against the law. They were like, but it's a small, that's small. It's still a law.
It's still a
and
law.
Regardless of that, until they get that in their head that laws are laws and laws are meant not to be broken, even if it is the smallest law, and you don't justify people that's breaking the law, then it's never going to become anything, bro. It's not. It's not.
Right.
So
I don't get why that's so hard for
because
Black Lives Matter and the left
can't admit they were
get.
wrong.
Well, no. It's what it is the argument that the laws were set up to be racist. So why follow racist laws? That's how they look at it.
And they want to rewrite the laws.
They don't even want to rewrite the laws. They just want to get rid of
follow
them.
the laws when it suits them.
They're fucking anarchists. That's what they are. Complete anarchists.
It's hard for me to argue that point anymore.
So that's what I mean.
That's why I don't.
Right. And that's what I mean by the narrative is already set. This guy got paralyzed now because
he decided to walk away from the cops when they're detaining him.
Because they're racist. That's why.
The cops only shot him.
You're making it too
because he was black.
Complicated, Wonder.
Because he was black.
I'm making it straight to the point of
You're
what
being
it
a
was.
white supremacist, Wonder. Stop. They're racist, and that's why they shot him.
I don't know. Is this a good time for us to get to the video?
He's defeated.
He's like, all right. He's like.
Next time on The Fallen State.
All the way from Florida. He even flew in during the Chinese virus thing with the mask on. Are you black or white or what are you?
I'm a mulatto.
So you're on pot right now?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you high right now?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I do a good impression of you. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Is your mama a slut?
How about all this transgender stuff?
Oh, that's freaking insane.
Yeah.
We have to pretend to be insane with them.
You never feel anger at all.
For instance, we watched the country freaking crumble the last 3 months. That angered me. Beautiful country that we built, and it's just getting destroyed by people that don't know anything about anything. Can I say something real quick to wrap it up?
Absolutely.
This city sucks.
Oh, yeah, I
LA
want to ask you what you think about LA.
This is a cesspool. Drug addicts. It's disgusting.
No, it's a mess.
It's a dirty Democrat policies, man.